I'm trying out YouTube live streaming for the first time, and I thought I might do a simple little paint here, something I can't really mess up. Just by channel live streaming, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do YouTube for now. I got kind of used. Well, I'm gonna do a simple little, kind of like a little beach painting, I think. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not a really big talker when I paint, so sorry if I'm not talking too much. But I'm glad. Let's see here. Paint. Get ourselves a brush. I got a 2-inch brush right here. And basically what I'm going to do is sort of a sunset with a palm tree, something really, really easy. So I got some colors here. I got their vermilion, lemon yellow, and alizarin crimson. So I'm just going to start mixing them a little bit. Put some stuff in. If you like watching me paint, and if you like art, and like seeing art getting made, just hit a like on there for me. It might be the first like I ever got on YouTube. I don't know. So this is acrylic paint, which is a water-based paint. Dries pretty quick. I work at a lot at the studio. Where we are right now is at my house. I got this set up in one of the spare bedrooms. So I'm just kind of working on what might be a very red sky. Not sure how clear it comes in on your end. Blend this a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit of detail in the sky there. And put some kind of like little, what could be clouds going across. Don't worry, I'm going to blend it. It's not going to be this weird flat look. I'll blend those in to make them look fluffy. Okay. And I want to put in some more yellow type highlights. Underneath these very red clouds. I'm just painting really loosely tonight, not making a masterpiece, just having some fun, making something pretty. Using a 1-inch flat brush right now. This is just lemon yellow that I'm putting on the bottom of these clouds to show like light reflecting up. Okay. Now the idea is we're going to put some water here and some beach. So the water is going to be, I think I'm going to make it sort of a purplish. I want some reds in there. So I'm going to add some ultramarine to my palette. We'll just stay with the 1-inch brush. I'm just really loosely mixing it here. See if you can see that. Just really loosely mixing it into the red. I'm going to pick a point where I want my horizon and lightly put it across. Worry about blending it and making a straight line here in a minute. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to start filling some more ocean type water. Mix up the colors too. Don't, you know, this one solid color actually makes it look fake. So you want to have all kind of different colors reflecting in there. And we're going to do some light reflecting in the water in a minute. We want things happening in this water. So. Too much there. Okay. So we have kind of a using this is just yellow ochre. I'm going to mix that with a little bit of blue and start making where the sand starts. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Just kind of show where it starts and stops. And put some more in. Again, mixing of colors and different modulations of colors are just fine. Again, if it was one solid, perfect color, it wouldn't even look real. It would look like it's computer generated or something. Why not? I'll take it. Cool, it's going to be a cardinal with a dandelion in its mouth, and the dandelion seeds are kind of blowing away. You know, it's where it's a, you know, people call them a wish flower a lot of times. So it's going to be kind of neat. People like cardinals and they like dandelions and all that. So I'm kind of putting both in the same one. Just adding a little bit of blue in there, ultramarine, just mixing it in. Okay. Now, a little trick. I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm going to pull down this water and mix it into the beach to give an idea of the water actually being thin and coming in. Okay. You see how that will come together in just a little bit. All right. Next, I'm going to start working on this water. I want to get a little bit of white. There we go. Titanium white. I'm going to put that on my palette. And I actually haven't even cleaned off the palette yet. I like mixing and using these colors to complement each other. All right, so first thing I want to do is way back, I got some white mixed with some stuff. It's way back on the horizon. I'm going to put a little bit of this reflections along the top of the horizon and a little bit of this white all the way on the horizon there. People get really obsessed with doing perfect lines, and the fact is that lines are actually mostly defined by shadows and colors. So don't get too hung up if a line isn't perfect. Once you start putting your shadows in there and stuff, it looks really good. All right, so just got a little bit of white there. Could be some white caps off in the distance. All right, now I'm going to put some shadows in, and this could be where blue, the water's swelling a little bit, and I'm just kind of putting some shadows in, assuming that the here. If the light's coming from this direction, the shadows are on this side. So just make some shadows and some. It's not really a raging beach scene. It's just sort of a relatively small waves, a nice gentle tide. Okay. So I got some darks put in there, and on the opposite side of the darks, start adding our light whites. The right side, because this is where our light's coming from. What platforms do you guys like to watch live? Figure out what'll be the best means. I've done Facebook Live stuff before, not so much YouTube though. If I did, I can't remember because I just had to set up the whole YouTube studio on this. Let's see how. I'm putting in this nice little, and it's not real, it's not precise. It's just showing where the light's coming from, and it starts giving a lot of action in the water. I really don't want to make big breakers. I don't want, but I'm going to pull a little bit of water over this one right here in the front, if you can see that. Make it a little bit thicker here so I can grab some paint. I use a fan brush. It's kind of a big fan brush, but it should do okay. And I'm just going to take it, just kind of grab this and pull it over. Just like a little half circle. Nothing dramatic. A little more white in there. Just right over the top. Really light brush strokes. Very light. Barely touching the canvas. Down here. Back here. Okay. Now, of course, where it spills over there, you get a little bit of disturbance in the water. So I am going to put some sort of splash effects there. Surf, I guess. Got a 1/2 inch flat brush. Just put a little bit of white on the bottom. and just kind of press it in there. Really light. I'm not jamming it in. I'm light. Turning the brush a little bit just to have little pieces of little bits of water splashing up. All right. And now I'm going to start bringing some idea of shallow water kind of coming up. So I'm really lightly just putting some white highlights here toward the front, like water has been making its way up. If you've been to the beach and you see how the water ebbs and flows, you'll know what I'm talking about. My idea for equipment for these paintings, and I got something on order, is actually going to be a webcam mount with an extendable arm so I can put it right over my shoulder. And I think that would be probably the optimal thing. A lot of times when water gets up to a certain point, it actually has like a little line of bubbles. So we're going to pull the final sort of layer of water up along here. Like it got pretty far up on the beach. See that? And we're going to put a nice little thick line of like little bubbles and surf and along that edge. All right, see that? Okay, next I want to put in a few more little shadows and such here onto the beach. Add a little bit of texture here. And just so you know, I got blue and brown and yellow right here on my palette, so I can make actually brown without having to open up a brown tube of paint. Just want more texture, that's all. A little bit too much there. The oaks right here, and then I'll have on the other side like a palm tree coming up. So we're actually close to getting complete with this. All right, it was fine by. Let's see, where's the black paint? Is it? Yeah, okay, so I got my black paint here. Again, I'm just putting it right on the palette with everything else. Now I need to find a thin brush. That'll do, see that? Let's see if I can show you. And we're going to use that to make sea oats coming out of the corner here. And as you get more toward the top, you get a little bit lighter on your push. Sometimes if it's not coming off the brush like you like, you can twist the brush just a little bit as you pull it up. Give it a little turn. Let's put a few more in. Just a few, nice and light. And don't make them perfectly straight either. It's probably a windy beach. They blow around a little bit. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to just kind of put a little bit of, just to accent these, a little bit of ochre in there. Just a little bit. I do want them to be silhouetted, but I don't want them to be sort of devoid of their, completely devoid of their natural colors either. We can throw a little bit of white in there just to make it cool. Okay. Now we need to make the tops of these. So make the little oat-like ends. Just little flicks of the paintbrush in one direction. That's one. I love red skies and using colors that aren't like as common as your standard, blue sky and that kind of stuff. I like mixing things up, like making them interesting. Not to say I have many problems with blue skies. Plenty of paintings with those too. I like doing beach scenes a lot too, because here in Tallahassee we have folks that live near the ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, down there to enjoy the. That's for sure. I did scuba diving over in Panama City, which is about 100 miles from here. A lot of good scuba diving. Some down here. People get in, and people are afraid, oh, I can't fix my mistakes. Yeah, you can. You can either paint over it, or you can actually just, wipe it off with a towel or whatever the case may be. So yes, you can absolutely fix stuff. Okay. I think what I was going to do is a palm tree. I think what I'd rather actually do is sort of a palmetto bush. So those are kind of fun. So what I'm going to do is actually first I'll make some stalks from it. Just using black. You notice I'm putting them close and they're covering a little bit of the sky and stuff. Even some of the other stuff I painted here, I want to go crazy with that, but what it also does is gives you some depth. So I've got some depth to this, which is good. All right. Now I'm going to add a little bit of green into that, just a hair. Using Viridian, which is a dark green. Let's put a little bit in there. Not making it all green, just giving it a hint. Okay. Just a little bit yellow. All right. There you go. All right. Now the fun part. You got a flat brush here, very flat brush. That. Okay. And then I'm going to load the brush, meaning put painting in the bristles. And then using it lengthwise, not flat on the canvas, but lengthwise, I'm going to start working on just making my palmetto leaves. So I start off light, press a little bit, and then let up on it. And it gives them an idea of some thickness. And let up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect's not good. You want things to look natural. And natural is imperfect. There's one. Just paint right over the other one when you do the second one. Are palmetto leaves called needles or leaves? Honestly, don't know. Fronds? These are fronds. Palmetto fronds. It's actually kind of coming out nice. We'll do this one down here. You can make them kind of look however you want. You can look happy or sad or drooping or not. If you do a painting like this one, it should look like something that is original to you. Don't ever have to worry about copying what I do. Here. There we go. That's better. Getting there. Got one here too. And painting doesn't have to be hard. It's just learning what to do, how your brush works, and what effects you want out of it. Some random frond. I'm gonna call them fronds. Random fronds around here. Okay. See how that's looking? And now I'm going to put just a little smidgen of maybe some yellow on the edges up here. Hopefully it looks okay. Just want a little bit of show that these are solid objects and a little bit of light that maybe comes through them or bounces off of them, although they are silhouetted. Silhouetted. Helps when you're doing these videos that you can talk right. Okay, just put little highlights in there. And I think I'm going to highlight some of the ends of these a little bit too, just a little bit of light. Just a tiny bit, not a bunch. All right. And I think I want something up here. I'm thinking probably just a couple gulls. Nothing, I really don't want to detract from what I've going on right here. So let me get that thin brush again. And I'm going to put a couple gulls up there. So I'm getting my white. Hopefully you can see that, see me getting in there. Here's an important thing too. So we're making a couple gulls, but we're just not making a couple little lines. We're actually going to try to paint these birds with a little bit of detail. So I got the white in there. And I'm going to get some black gulls. A lot of times have a black head and black wingtips. I don't want our painting to appear lazy. You can see that, okay. A little dot here where the head is, a little dot here where his head is. A little bit of black on the ends of the wings. Just a little bit of shadow underneath him. Okay. And I think I got a paper towel here. Might even put a hint of a tail on these guys. All right. And I think, oh yeah, one more thing I want to do is on the top line of these clouds here, I'm going to put a little bit of a color ridge, a little bit of yellow up there. Just a little bit. right. I think that's going to wrap it. So I think we'll sign it. Sign it right down here in the Palmettos. Hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is the very first one. I'll be working out a lot of technical stuff, going back and reviewing this. But thanks for joining me. I appreciate it very much. I hope you take a look at my art and enjoy it. You can go to jimart.com. Go to my Facebook page, also Jim Russell Art. Twitter, Jim Russell Art. And there we go. Nice little beach scene. So I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, and I'm going to end the stream. See ya.